Hello and welcome back to Train Sim World, where today let's have a look at the news article that released by this point in the time when I'm recording this yesterday, and we're looking at the route for Dresden to Leipzig. So very fitting that I've picked Riesa, the line between as far as Riesa. Anyway, Train Sim World 6, New Horizons to Leipzig. It's time to dive into the new routes included in Train Sim World 6. Each week until launch, we will be giving out further details about each free routes and the deluxe train codes, deluxe edition locos add-ons. So, to top this out, we'll be outlining gameplay elements such as timetable, layers, as well as further context in about history and about old railways. I will probably skip over that bit. So, out of context, week 1 will be the Leipzig route, so Leipzig, Dresden, Leipzig. Next week will be the Morristown line, and then finally the Riviera will be last to be done. But this week it is obviously Bahnstreck Leipzig to Dresden, and we'll offset one of the stations along the route. Anyway, but up past Riesa. So it's a 77 kilometres of new track with 20 new stations, which is equivalent to 160 kilometres in total. New line via Friedrichstadt included, which is an expensive freight yard. Huge variety of ICE, regional and freight traffic, and to be fair, S-Bahn as well, even though it's not stated. So, go beyond the boundaries of Navaca and Dresden and accelerate westbound in all the way up to Leipzig on Train Sim World 6. Drive modern ICE, regional and freight traffic along the oldest long-distance railway in Germany. The line was built back in 1839 and it's constantly been upgraded throughout its lifespan. Right, anyway, for most of this I will skip. First services beat regional traffic through the use of separate lines. Each operate in different paths through the Saxony countryside and the outskirts of Dresden are served by frequent commuter services. So, obviously, Train Sim World 6, Right, so the key additions to the route are 65 kilometres extension from Riesa to Leipzig, including 20 stations, additional 13 kilometres of tracks on the Dresden-Coswig line, new Friedrichstadt marshalling yard, new green stripe variant of the DBBR 411 ICET, new platform and passenger announcements, new random events in service mode, new train faults, updated DBBR 442 Talent 2 with suspension, and also Dresden Riesa, this exact route as well, as a separate DLC. All players of Bahnstreck Leipzig to Dresden will receive entitlement previously released Navaca Dresden or Dresden to Riesa add-on, according to even more trains in their roster, presenting service layers applicable to other European routes in their collection, or should I say preserving them as well. And just to point out a little bit of off proper news here, this route, so Navaca Dresden Riesa route, will not be available to purchase separately in Train Sim World 6. Just to point that one straight out to there. So, the wide variety of trains included in Leipzig Dresden route covers a large range of services, high speed, local S-Bahn, freight, shunting local service, normal services don't actually count apparently, but never mind. Gameplay created by the additional layers, courtesy of Dresden Reason entitlements. That'll probably be where they come from. So on to the DBBR294, which is the deluxe loco, originally built back in the 1960s and 70s as a heavy shunting locomotives. Their weight and power made them suitable for shunting long trains, but also transporting wagons between different locations in the 1990s. A fleet overhaul saw the 290 locos rebuilt and reclassified as the DBBR 294, which is obviously what they are related in here. There's a lot of photos on there of them as well. On to the locos that you get. Oh, and also it will be available to purchase separately on the 30th. So they're not exclusive with the deluxe edition for a month like they have been in the past, the locos. So, on to the locos that you get, the trains, locos you get in the base pack from Dresden to Leipzig. The DBBR 411 ICET. These are included, just to point out, so you do not need to own it separately. So you don't need Frankfurt-Fulda to get this. As people seem to think. The DBBR 442 Talent 2, which is, I believe, is that the free car? Yeah, that's the free car version. It's the free car variant, which it doesn't actually say that either. But it also has been updated with suspension, the train sim rail suspension. Once again, it's included in the route. DBBR 185 plus wagons. Once again, that's included in the route. The MRC variant is also included in Dresden Riesa, so you also get that variant. The DBBR 146-2 will also be included in the pack alongside the Dostos. So, on to the additional layers, which is what Riesa Dresden will give you. The DBBR 143 and the DB 363 shunter. I'll let that freight shoot itself past. So, on to train faults and random events and signal delays. So, train faults. Train faults will occur in the form of wiper failures and lighting failures. These can easily be reset. Players will get a pop-up when a fault occurs that they can take necessary action to clear it. Some of these may require a circuit to be reset. Random events. Temporary speed limit restriction signs will appear beside the track and give a visual indicator where the speed restriction starts and ends. The HUD will also react to these restrictions. Signal delays will once again be something to consider when playing with random events enabled. Dresden have both HL and KS type signalings are in use and are located for typical aspects that will keep players on their toes. And I'm guessing there is a PZB, LZB, RFB and CIFA tutorial in the training centre now. For Train Sim 06 there will be. Timetable, layers and gameplay. Types of services available in Leipzig to Dresden include ICET express traffic between Dresden and Leipzig using the Avoiden line to the east and Alza B in the west. If you are curious and never played this route, that is the route there that you will be on, oddly enough, where that freight train's going. Regional service, which is Regional Express 50, Regional Bahn 31, Regional Express 15, and Regional Express 18, with the DBBR 442, operates local services because I'm not going to try and pronounce that, and AA forms AI traffics at Lisbon, Leipzig, and Lisa. DBBR 143 hold Dostos, operating peak S1 and all S2 services. The 146 will hold operating the S1 and Regional 50 services. Multiple paths from Dresden to Riesa for high-speed dash to Leipzig. Freight trains using the DBBR 185 will serve industries and the large French junkyard. So we might not get freight on this section of the line anymore. Too much anyway. The 363 shunter services will be available via Dresden to Riesa entitlement, deluxe and special players, or those who have bought them separately, will also be able to use the 294 shunter on local freight services and shunting. So before we actually continue, the yard that is actually missed out on here, apart from it's a bit here, you don't actually, that bed doesn't actually get used, but you actually go off up here. You go up here and it reconnects up here somewhere on these lines here. If you actually didn't know that one. So, the overview of additional service layers as follows. The DBBR 1442 trains from Rapid Transit, so Rapid Transit will finally have its proper layers, will get something actually showing off for its requirement now. They will be offering players the S4 services from Leipzig and AI traffic. The 642 using a Mittenwall Bahn add-on will offer playable and AI services. DBBR 218 holds services using the N-Wagon stock, offering players services and playable services and AI traffic at Leipzig. ICE 1 trains from Kessel-Wurzburg on the Rugburg will add in additional AI traffic, so that's AI only. The original, so not the expert DBBR 101, that came from obviously Hamstrack or Rhine Raw, you require that as well, will runnable player IC and EC services, including loco stops at Dresden that can utilise the Railpool 193 locomotive. The 612 will have AI traffic at Dresden from the Thailand route. And finally, the BR 103 playable rail tour from Leipzig. In addition, static stock on the route that throughout the year by changing in the throughout the game will appear at Leipzig Platform 24, featuring trains from a wide range of add-ons, including the E94 rail tour pack from Trains in Germany. This represents the museum platform, which is really also routes a serious historical rolling stock. As of typical German routes in Trains in World, playable locomotives substitute for both passenger and freight services will be available for players with additional content in their collection. This includes the Railpool Vectron, Press 155 and more. Steam only, there is a sale for this week only for compatible content for the route. Rapid Transit, Hamstrucker Rhine War, and the DBBR 101 original, they're the only ones that they're showing off anyway, are all 60% off. That I can go off. On to the 8th generation of consoles, which is Xbox One and PlayStation 4. After reviewing performance on previous generation consoles, we've made amendments to the timetable to provide a suitable experience for these players. Upgrade is probably the best idea for you lot to do. All players and services, playable services in timetable mode will use the DBBR 442 to other included trains. The ICT 143, 146 and the 185 will be available to operate in scenarios only. The only additional layer will be for the selection of playable services. For the 294 services, there will be no AI only traffic services that are otherwise playable, or freight services. I would say it's probably time for you lot on Gen 8 to upgrade. Big time. And for anyone that says that they're holding everyone else back, they're not. Which disproves it. Because Gen 9 and PC will get all the layers. No, actually, Gen 9 and Steam players will get all the layers. Sorry, Epic Games. You're still getting more than what Gen 8 gets, though. But players on Gen 8 generation consoles with Leipzig Dresden will also receive Dresden Riesa entitlement, which will have the current Gen 8 generation timetable services available on it into TSW6, and may provide a better experience if you're looking for a busier timetable on that section of the route. There is masteries and so forth as well. And also, don't forget to go and check out the preview. That's on tonight if you're watching this on the day this video should in theory go out. But it's obviously available on Dovetail's channel, official channels. And I will state as well, if you're German, you have got a very special one from Trains and Plays and the Dovetail developer Lucas for a second preview of Leipzig Dresden on the week on Sunday the 14th, as it were, as well. So where was that? Oh, anything else I've missed or not? Oh yeah, freight services using the BL442, 7 Industries and Furniture Stand, please local stops and heading out to the map towards Czechia. There's going to be a route hop for the Czech route at some point as well when that comes out. So going back into the map again, obviously that there, the line to Melbourne was the first time this route had an extension. That was the extension there. Now we're having pretty much that on an extension up here somewhere. To have a random guess. We're not getting anything going that way. We're not getting the extensions up this way. Obviously, if you've got around the lamp as well, you will get the AI coming along here as well. There is nothing coming, is there? Nope. But there. So I will be back doing one of these whenever the next one it comes out and allows us to yap about it and pretty much have a dig at it and see what there is in the pack, which will be the Morristown line, and I will be back for that one. Don't forget to go and check out my farewell tour, or the send off as it's called, on the channel. I've only still got one more to do, which I'm not going to do today, record wise. I'll do that whenever. But now, as I'm going to work today, I don't. Obviously, I start at 5 today until close. So between 8 and 9, I finish. So I will have to watch the preview on a playback. So I'm not going to do a reaction afterwards and so forth. So, once again, if you're on last gen consoles, you're pretty much getting dog poo for the timetable. And if you're on Epic Games, yeah, you're probably going to lose out on substitution, as it were. Because if I remember rightly, they're on that one, but I can't remember now. But if I remember correctly, I better find that FAQ quickly, because there's been a small amendments to that since I last have done it, like when I did a video on it. That one, I think. That's the roadmap. That one? No. Yes, it was that one. That one there. My tablet's decided to play silly buggers. So while I'm here, don't forget all the faults can be turned on and off. And something which I will now go over: passenger announcements on compatible content. No. Train Sim 6 content, yes. Game modes, timetable and scenarios, and can be toggled in the settings. Platform announcements, exactly the same as passenger announcements, so not incompatible content. The ambience is also the exact same on that one. Signal delays is on compatible and Train Sim 6 and future content. Temporary speed limits will only be on Train Sim 6 content, and training faults will only be on Train Sim 6 content. So, that sounds a bit bad. So, onto the Epic Games situation again, before we do go anywhere. So, the list I'm about to read out, you'll get later on after launch. Like I said, this is going to impact the upgraded version of this route. So, Manchester Airport commuter, London Overground, Mild Maid, North London Line, Far Circle, Blackpool branches, West Coast Main Line, Preston Carlisle, aka West Coast Main Line over Shap, Midland Main Line, the RHTT, Birmingham Cross City, DBBR 101 Expert, Maintal Barn, Mittenwall Barn, Rapid Transit, Niddertal Barn, DBBR 101, Harlem Line, Salzburg Rosenheim and the Burnley Line will all release later on. So from pretty much the full release on the 30th, you will not be having the 101 services, the Rapid Transit services, the Nittenwall Barn services, Niddertal Barn, Maintown Barn services as well. At the same time, you won't be getting the possibility of a 182 substitution either, the red one. That's probably why it's not been listed, or they couldn't get it in because of frame rate. Oh, hello, my talent. That's an OVV. If you haven't done so, don't go and check that out, because I did actually do that on a video. Anyway, just checking, there's been nothing else been here newly added. No, there hasn't been. So, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to notify you when the next one of these will go live, and when my videos start going live for all of the farewell tour. The only one that is probably most likely going to be scheduled for a premiere is the one that goes out later today. Spoiler warning, they're all at 4 o'clock. Anyway, enough on that one. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I might actually go and do a quick video for the Epic Games on its own self, just to help it out a little bit. But I will see you in that one, if I have decided to do that anyway. I want to try and get this video out today. So, that's what I'm having on. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and at the same time, enjoy all my other videos. I will see you in the next one. The next time that next video will be the farewell tours, but the next videos in terms, next time we have a news one, like I said, that will pre the American route. So I will see you in that one. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and have an awesome day. Goodbye. That freight train is a perfect time to end. There's also a passenger train at the station, but I can't be bothered. So, once again, don't forget to like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Have an awesome day. Toodaloo.